Well, we are approaching the 1 month mark of this 2025-2026 NBA season, and one thing has become abundantly clear in the roughly 3.5 weeks that we have played to this point. The Western Conference is absolutely stupidly loaded. Like, from a historical standpoint, one of the most absolutely stacked conferences we have ever seen, and we have seen a lot of stacked Western conferences over the last 20 to 25 years, while they've held an unmatched hold on the Eastern Conference for virtually the last 2.5 decades. But this is getting absolutely ridiculous. The Denver Nuggets right now are on a bit of a historical footing as they are clobbering teams right now. They're 10-2, and their plus 13.1 point per game net differential is tracking to, break the Thunder's all-time record from last season. And just how good were the Oklahoma City Thunder last year? Their plus 12.9 net differential obliterated the all-time record. An all-time record which was held by the LA Lakers, the team with Gail Goodrich, Jerry West, and Will Chamberlain. The team that still holds the all-time NBA record for most consecutive wins in a season at 33. The team that finally got Jerry West off of the schneid when they won his first and only NBA championship. Well, yeah, that team has held the all-time record for differential in a single season for, roughly 53 years until last season. That's right, no one could run that down. No one. Not the 72-win Chicago Bulls, not the 73-win Golden State Warriors. No regular season team really got close to that all-time mark set and held by that Lakers team until the Oklahoma City Thunder last season destroyed the record by over a half of a point per game. And yet, right now, this season, the Denver Nuggets are pacing to break that record set by Oklahoma City just last year. They are a top 3 net-rated offense and defensive team. They are led by the best player by far on the planet Earth, having by far his best season ever in Nikola Jokic. They actually have a viable bench for a change. And yet, what if I were to tell you that this team isn't even remotely close to the best team in their own conference? Because the aforementioned Oklahoma City Thunder from last year are even better this year. Like, much better. Remember the point differential record that they set last year at 12.9? Well, now through the month mark of this season, the Thunder are beating teams by 15.4 points per game on average. Ridiculous stuff. Jalen Williams, who last year was, a top 15 to 20 advanced rated player, while he was on the way to making an all-star team, being named All-NBA third team and All-NBA defensive second team. Well, he hasn't even played a single game this year yet, while a bunch of other starters for the Oklahoma City Thunder have been missing a ton of games, but yet they just keep getting better. Chet Holmgren is in the midst of, a career season for him. He's a top 10 to 15 net rated player right now. He'll probably be an all-star and potentially all-NBA this year in his own right. And the MVP of a year ago, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, is pretty much just duplicating the season that made him an MVP last year. They are far and away significant and substantial title odds favorites right now. They sit at plus 175, while the closest other team, of course, predictably is the Denver Nuggets, but they are a distant plus 650. Right now, that your most up-to-date odds on the year. So while the Denver Nuggets are nearing a 69-win pacing right now, they aren't even close to being the best team in this conference. The Oklahoma City Thunder are on pace for a 76-6 record right now. Now, the one thing is, neither of these teams have played a robust schedule to this point, but the fact that we have two historically great teams led by probably the two best players in the NBA are on a collision course for maybe just the Western Conference Finals just kind of speaks to how loaded this conference is. But there's depth here because nobody is talking about the sleeping giant in Houston. For whatever reason, the Rockets are riding under the radar. That after they were the splashiest team in the summer when they signed the coveted prize of the summer, Kevin Durant, and the Rockets have not disappointed. In fact, they outplayed the Oklahoma City Thunder on opening night, the Thunder's ring ceremony, and when they raised the banner for winning the championship last season. Well, it was the Rockets that were actually the best team through roughly 95% of that game. It was an instant thriller, double overtime game where the Thunder did end up pulling out the win 125-124. The Rockets would then lose game 2 of their regular season this year against the now 11-2 Detroit Pistons. So no shame in that loss. They lost by 4 in that game to begin their year 0-2. But since that 0-2 start by the Houston Rockets, they have now won 9 of their last 10 games. And they themselves are destroying teams game in and game out. Their plus 11.5 net differential right now would be the 8th best mark in NBA history. So this team is looking to be a historical team as well. Nobody is talking about them. Alperen Şengün is going to be more than likely a second-team All-NBA candidate by year's end. He'll be an All-Star again this season. He's flirting with around top 10 status in box plus minus, value over replacement. He's right there around 15, 16 in player efficiency rating. And then, of course, Kevin Durant, KD, is doing just pretty much what he does all the time. And he's the second best player on this team. Şengün is the best player. He is the leader. He's pretty much their lead facilitator now as well. So he's getting it done in multiple different ways. But KD is still, at this stage and age of his career, still getting you 26 points per game on a smooth 51% shooting. They've got some depth. They're a great defensive team as well. And they are young. They're still learning how to play together. They figured to only get better as the season goes on. And, well, they're pretty damn good already. So those are a hellacious top 3 teams for the conference this year or any damn year. You're going to have a team over 70 wins, maybe the all-time single-season record breaker in most wins with Oklahoma City Thunder. You're going to have a team probably in the upper 60s, possibly tickling 70 themselves in the Denver Nuggets, and then maybe 61-65 wins for the Houston Rockets, which will be good enough for just the 3 seed. And then we get to the 4-5 battle line, which is probably going to be played out between the LA Lakers and the San Antonio Spurs. The Lakers at the moment are holding that 4 seed, and they're doing it behind Luka Doncic, who is averaging like a 34-point triple-double right now, looking to regain his All-NBA first-team selection run. Of course, his run of 5 straight was snapped last year. He's looking to regain his first-team status this season. Looks to be on a pretty good start to do just that. But the big news for the Lakers, Austin Reeves, who is like a top 10 net-rated player right now. He is averaging roughly 28 points and 8 assists, adding 5 rebounds per game. He's going to be an all-star this year, if not all-NBA himself. Oh, and I didn't even mention the alleged GOAT, or the self-proclaimed GOAT, I suppose, LeBron James, who is yet to play a single game for them. He's expected to return probably on Sunday against the Utah Jazz, so his return is imminent. And the Lakers are going to be scrapping it out probably all year with that transcendent freak mutant Victor Wembanyama and his San Antonio Spurs. That for the 4-5 line. And guys, look, I did not even mention the Minnesota Timberwolves and Anthony Edwards, who, by the way, have played in the last 2 Western Conference Finals. Like, if they're lucky, they won't have to play in the play-in tournament. But who is likely going to play in that play-in tournament will be the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry, who's still showing that he's capable of night in and night out ridiculousness. He's flashed a couple insane games against, the Nuggets on opening night. Against the Spurs, he dropped 40 points in back-to-back games in beating them. and they've got playoff Jimmy. Yet that team's not even good enough to get out of the play-in range. That is just how disgusting and stupidly loaded this conference is. Meanwhile, the East couldn't be any weaker. The Detroit Pistons are going to run away with this conference. They're sitting at 11-2. They just beat the 76ers, and they didn't even have Cade Cunningham to do it. Obviously, the Celtics aren't what they've been in recent years with the Tatum injury. The Indiana Pacers, who were last year's Eastern Conference representatives, they started the year off 1-12. With all the injuries that they've incurred, you've still got Cleveland floating around there. They've taken a step back, though, from last year. And I suppose if you put a gun to my head, the New York Knicks would be the one team that I think could maybe compete with the Detroit Pistons, and that's probably going to be your Eastern Conference Finals. But just a ridiculous amount of teams in the Western Conference. Probably like 6 or 7 of the best 8 teams league-wide are in the West. I mean, we're going to have Denver and Houston, and probably the Lakers and the Thunder in the second round of the playoffs. This is just silly. As ridiculous as the Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan era was, and it was ridiculous. You had a number of seasons where there were 8 teams in the playoffs who all won at least 50 games. This season is looking, I'm not going to say that this season is going to trump those years quite yet, because for all of you youngsters that don't remember out there, Kobe Bryant one year actually played the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round in the 1v8 series just to get out of the first round. So Kobe Bryant was playing that 50-win Oklahoma City Thunder team with 3 future MVPs as the 8th seed. That was one of the years that Kobe went on to ultimately win the NBA championship, where he had to go through like every team he played won at least 50 games. I'm not ready to say we are there just yet, but this conference is shaping up to be as good or better than any conference we have ever seen. And we have maybe 2 to even 3 all-time historical teams in one conference. So, guys, get your popcorn ready and get ready for a show all season long, but particularly April and May are going to be absolutely lit in the NBA Western Conference. Guys, many thanks for joining me here. As always, if you enjoyed the video, come on, you know what to do. Like it, comment on it, hype it up. I don't even really know what hyping it up is, but damn it, I know you can do it. So please hype the video up if you enjoyed it. And most importantly, click that subscribe button if you haven't already, and turn on those notifications to stay up to date with more from me. Until next time, guys.